I need to go live on TikTok, and I just realized Streamlabs has a way where I can go live on TikTok and Twitch at the same time on here. But I need to pay for the premium version, but I think it might be worth it. So I was just contemplating that, but it was literally $6.59. So I was like, let me go ahead and get on there. So we don't have as many slides tonight, but there's a lot of videos. So we will be here for our usual time. I've been going super over recently. Like the other night I was literally on here for like, I think it was like 2.5 hours. Anyway, let me get live on TikTok. Oh my God. I have like sinus problems. I want my ice roller. I'm so high maintenance. It's really not okay. Where's my little graphic? I have been through so much in the last 24 hours. Well, really like 36 hours. Let me just tell you. Denver Airport. I can literally not use an iPad. I'm sure this angle is absolutely horrifying. Okay, cool. Cool. It's just gonna move you. Everybody's just scooching on over. First day of summer school was horrible. So glad for this stream. It's crazy how like across America the school calendar is so different because I'm like going back to school soon. Like I'm having back to school scaries. I actually kind of am really relieved to go back because I miss like the schedule and the structure. Because I've been like just unwell recently. But anyway, what was I saying? So I have been through so much in the last 36 hours. I literally can't even tell you. But I'm about to tell you. Is my mic right? Yeah. So I went to that, if you follow me on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram, I was kind of posting about it everywhere because it was like really intense. I went to a museum of Confederate history, and I want to give some context here because I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, girl, what the fuck were you doing there? I went to go visit my grandma. It's summer. I don't get to see her that often. So I was like, let me do a little road trip moment and go there. I have been wanting to like try filming in person somewhere. Like I make all of my videos like in my house or like in my car. And I was like, I kind of want to try being in like public and like interacting with people. I think it would be like a good challenge for me. And I was thinking this summer I would do it at like a historic site. And I was trying to like, you know, be efficient, and I found this place near my grandma's house that I was like, I also am just like very, very, if they were mean to you, I swear to God, it was a lot. I'm going to talk about it. So, and I was like, I'm curious like what this is. And then I was like, but I don't want to pay money and support these people because like that's really gross. And then I looked online and it was free. So I was like, I don't feel bad about exploiting them. So I was like, this will be a cool way for me to like try filming something in person, which I've never done. And in hindsight's 2020, I wish I had tried somewhere else first because this place was like really intense and really interesting, and I wish I did a better job because I've never filmed in person. So like obviously the first time you do something, it's not, oh my God, it didn't notify you, Catlander? So it's horrifying. So the first time you do something, you're like not going to be a rock star superstar at it. So I wish I had done a better job because I feel like the video is not going to be as good as I could make it. And this place was just so weird and fucked up and interesting that I feel like I like want to give it a better video than what I feel like I can. So I'm still going to make something because I still think it could be good. But I wish that I had like literally gone to like a public park just to practice. You know what I mean? Like just to practice filming in person. Like I literally realized I moved the camera too fast and you couldn't read stuff as well. Like literally little technical things like that I wish I had practiced before, but like live, laugh, learn. That's what it's all about. Ma'am, you went in the trenches for us. We're grateful for whatever you have. So this is the thing. I'll tell you about the experience. Going into it, I was like, I'm gonna be open-minded because I have no idea what this is. Because one time I went to go visit a plantation that's a historic site, and I was really worried it was gonna be like some like romanticize the South bullshit, but it was like so historic, and I learned so much there that made me such a better history teacher. And they did not shy away from details. They did not shy away from heavy conversations. We talked about like economics of it, like of like the slavery system of that county and like all of that. And it was just such an educational experience. And going into it, I thought it was going to be like gross and weird. So I was like, maybe that'll happen again. Like, I don't think this place will be like, we want to tell the truth about history. But I was like, you never know. Maybe they will be. I didn't want to go in with like any expectations. I just wanted to go in and see what the fuck was going on here. That being said, my original thought that it was going to be fucked up and weird was absolutely correct, and it was fucked up and weird. And the reason I thought it might not be fucked up and weird is because all the Google reviews were so positive. And I was like, if everyone's this, like, there wasn't any controversy in, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, maybe it'll be like accurate. But then I got there and a couple things, like, they had real items. So, like, a lot of things were accurate when they were talking about, like, the uniforms and the weapons. They were very into weapons, very into weapons. So the pictures I posted of, like, me with the guns with those guys, I have, like, a 6-minute video of us talking, and it is the weirdest thing ever because, like, and I'm also mad at myself that I'm laughing a lot in the video just because I was so uncomfortable, and like, to be a woman is to perform, so that was my instinct, was just to like be like ha ha ha. But there's like a couple times that I say something and it's like crickets, like they just stare at me and then they change the subject. And like, I was there for about an hour and a half. I would say about 25 minutes into me being there, they realized that I was not like them. And I like didn't go in there to like argue with them. I went in and I literally said, I'm not going to talk to anyone, but if someone talks to me, I'll talk to them. That was like my plan, because I really wanted to go there and see like the items, and I feel like I didn't really see that much of the items there, because after me being there for like 20 minutes, they were like on me like glue, because I think they realized that like something nefarious was going on. They didn't stop me from filming. There were some times that I was just like hit record and then like put my phone down because they were like talking to me, so I was like stopping to talk to them. So like the footage is like messy and fucked up and weird, so I might just end up grabbing like audios out of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. You need to have a podcast with just you. I could never do that. I do not have the energy for that. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, do voiceover. But these two volunteers there, one of them, he introduced himself to me, and he was also a U.S. history teacher. So he was like really trying to be my friend. He was like, my daughter is exactly your age. She teaches AP U.S. history too. And then when he like had said some like dog whistle racism things to me, and I like kind of stonewalled it and like literally just didn't acknowledge that he said it and didn't say anything, because he would like say something and be like, oh well, we need to remember our heritage, and I would just like turn and start reading something else and ignore him. And that's when he started to kind of like glue on to me, and like they did not want me to be by myself, and they weren't mean to me. Like they were polite the whole time to me, but there definitely was like a tension in the air when I felt like they were suspicious of me, but they didn't know why or what I was doing, because I really wasn't saying that much to them. Like, you'll see in the videos, but like he's handing me this gun, talking about the gun, and I literally say, oh, that's great for killing people. Like I am like barely engaging in the conversation. And then I also had my mom walking around filming me doing all these things. And so I think that they just were like, they didn't know how to respond to me. So they were like, let's keep an eye on that. And then I was going to go outside and film basically my reaction outside. Like I had a mic and I was going to sit on the stair in front of the building, because it was literally this like the size of my house, like the size of like a 3 or 4 bedroom house. Oh, I had her working, best believe. And so I was literally going to sit on the stair and like describe kind of what I just described to you. And then I went out the front door. The guy went out the back door to come around, and basically like, I don't know what he was doing. And he looked like he like walked around till he saw me, and then once I saw him and was like, oh, thanks for showing me everything, heading out, like bye, because that's when I started to feel like weird. After like the 4th time I'd walked away and they followed me, that's when I was like, okay, I kind of want to get out of here. And after, so he walks out the back door. After he realizes I see him, he turns around and goes to open this like, it looked like a crawl space, but he said it was a basement. And it was just so weird. And that guy was literally like, he dresses up as a Confederate soldier for events. Like, he was showing me pictures of it. And that's when I literally was just like, and would just like walk away and then go look at something else and be recording. And then he would walk back up to me and like start explaining whatever I was looking at. It was overall very, very weird encounter. And it was like very tiring. And it was far. So I've been in the car a lot for the last like 24 hours because I feel like I was in purgatory. It was just weird. It was weird. Like, no one was rude to me overtly. But it was just odd. And I am glad I went because I think it like pushed me in a lot of ways as like a creator to figure out like where's the line of like being in this fucked up place where they're saying things that are inaccurate and fucked up, and like how do I respond to that in this moment in a way that's like genuine to my values and who I am. But then also, like, the purpose of me being here is to share what's going on here in a way that I'm telling people how fucked up it is. So also, I don't want you to kick me out because then I'm not going to be able to accomplish what I came here to do. And it was just, like, a lot. So, like I said, I wish I had picked, like, I don't want to say an easier thing, but I wish I had, like, practiced and not even posted of the practice. Like, I wish I had gone and been like, I should have literally gone to like a park in my neighborhood and looked up the history on Wikipedia and just done a practice run to see, because I also, in the parking lot before I went in, I like had it up on my phone and I recorded videos of me talking about, the museum was in Greenville, South Carolina. I don't live there. I was visiting family. So I drove there and to visit my family, and then, you know, I was like, oh, I should do this right now. But anyway, I read about like the history of Greenville and the war and how they really didn't even see that much action and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just kind of a lot. And I'm glad that we have a very like non-nuanced stream topic, because being there, oh, the other thing is, what I thought was the most insane is that that museum literally did not have one mention of slavery at all. And okay, I will grant I did not look at every single item in that museum. They had tons of bookcases I didn't read. But from what I saw, which was a lot, I did a couple laps around it trying to like avoid these people. There was not one mention of slavery. I brought it up twice, and that's when they really started following me closely. And that was crazy to me that there was not even a mention. They had a ton of mention of the Black Confederate soldiers, how there were Black men who fought for the Confederacy, and they were showing me the names of them. There's not that many. If you watched my Civil War stream, I literally talk about this in depth. I also think they were weirded out that I was like going toe-to-toe in conversation with them, because I think they're used to people that grew up very uneducated without seeing a rational view of the Civil War going in there, so they don't know that much about it. So I think when they realized that I was like very heavily knowledgeable about the Civil War specifically, they like kind of were like, oh, I don't know how to give you my spiel because like you already know a lot of this stuff, you know? I probably was kind of being rude, but I literally don't care. Yeah, so they had no mention of slavery that I saw. And then when he was telling me about the Black Confederate soldiers, I was like, oh, so was that individual an enslaved man or a free man before the war? Because I was like, there were some free Black men before the war started, very few. And he goes, oh, he was enslaved. And I was like, oh, so how did he get involved in the military? Did he ask his master to go? And he goes, oh, well, his best friend was his master's son. So when the son went, he went with him because they were best friends. That's what this man who taught U.S. history for 30 years looked at me in my face and fucking said to me. Like, the critical thinking is not in the room. Like, it was literally just such a weird ass fucking place, and I am looking forward to making the video about it, because I think that especially people that are not in the South don't know that people act like this, and there are real people that are teachers that go to places like this and act like this, which is insane. Literally, who cares if you were mildly rude? That's how I was like, whatever. And then my mom, she was like, oh, but like, what if you're posting a video, they might get mad at you? And I was like, they literally saw you filming it. Like, he could have told me to stop and he didn't. There were times that I could tell he was uncomfy by it, but he never said anything. So I think the video will probably take a couple of hours to put together. My goal is to have it done within a week. So I just really needed to get that off my chest before I could like kind of get into lighthearted mode, because like I said, that was just a lot. Like, I don't regret doing it, but it was a lot. Like, it was a lot being there. It was a lot. Republicans love to be in your face. Yeah, so we're here tonight to talk about something much less heavy. That was a full 16 minutes. For the YouTubers that wanted to talk about the Denver airport, I'm so sorry. I'm getting to it. I'll put, someone yell at me and remind me, I'll put a little thing in the description that says, like, first 16 minutes, she was going through something. You are a strong social studies soldier. I feel like a strong social studies soldier. And then the fucked up part, I know I said I was done. The fucked up part about it is, even though it was like really awful to be there, because I feel like I can't do it justice because I did not have the videography skills, I feel like I want to go back to like see even more how fucked up it is, because I feel like I easily, like, I want to be in there alone. Like, the guys were fucked up. I don't want to go back to the men. I do not want to talk to them again. I want to go in there by myself and read the books is what I want. And that's what I wanted the whole time. And then what I got was this. Because what I thought would happen is these volunteers would realize, like, oh, she's kind of different from me and knows a lot of stuff. I don't want to talk to her. But then, so I thought I was going to be able to, like, spend a couple hours in there reading. That was my intention. And then what happened is what happened, and that's what happened. It was crazy as hell. It was crazy as hell. So, just bring an old white guy with you to kiki with them. Maybe, okay, oh my God, we're so smart. I need to bring a decoy person that goes in before me and distracts them. That's what I need to do. Yes, Dylan, you need an accomplice who can distract them. So I need 2 accomplices, because I need one accomplice to film me, and then I need one accomplice to distract them. White dad in cargo shorts. Girl, we're all okay with it. This is also exactly what happens when I try and cultivate any type of plan. And then I was also nervous. I was like, all right, am I going to get canceled because I'm at the Confederate History Museum? But I was like, I really feel like I'm here with, like, educational intention in a non-fucked up way. But I was like, what if this is received really poorly? This could go south quickly, you know? So anyway, he's pro-union and will argue with them to keep them engaged. I love how y'all are, like, volunteering your dads. Love this community. So yeah, I'm just, like, freaking beat, but I feel so peaceful right now because I'm, like, in my house. Like, just, I had a long drive there. It was really intense. Then I was with a lot of family members that was not bad. Like, none of it was awful. It was just, like, a lot and intense and in rapid succession with a lot of driving and also not sleeping in my own bed. And I just am I get, what's the word? Unsettled easily. So I feel so at peace right now because let me tell you what I did. I got home today at like 2 o'clock, put on Real Housewives of the OC, drank a Dr. Pepper and ate a Jersey Mike's sub, laid on the couch for an hour, and then just did like the hardest workout of my life. And I feel so like zen. Like that really can fix anything. I think like watching your show, a Jersey Mike's sub, your favorite drink, and then an hour of interval training, you're on top of the world. Also, I had a Celsius, half a Celsius. I have to microdose the Celsius. I can't handle a full Celsius. You exercise the demon with Dr. Pepper and hit. No, that's really how I feel because like I was there yesterday at noon and still today at noon. I just like felt disgusting. And like I took a really like, I was like, am I going to feel like this forever? Like, I think this is a permanent state of being. And then you're stressed by the change of environment like a zoo animal. No, I'm like worse than a zoo animal. Like, I think I'm less adaptable. Like, I literally will freak the fuck out. But yeah. And now that I'm like home and had a good meal, I'm so happy. And I'm so thrilled to be here. I feel God in this Chili's tonight, and I'm thrilled to be here talking about the motherfucking Denver airport. Thank you for giving me 20 minutes of free therapy. I have therapy I have to pay for tomorrow. So, the Denver airport. Those of you on TikTok, feel free to come to Twitch. We have lots of videos tonight, lots of photos tonight. And I was telling Twitch this earlier, there's a way on my little streaming platform I can do a cross stream. I have to look and see if it costs money and how much, but I'm going to try and do that. Also, I want to shout out again my little graphic down there with Dr. Sofian and his family. I did speak to him today. He is very ill right now because of obviously the situation is not really conducive to health. So he is very ill right now, so I haven't been talking to him as much, but he said to tell everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. He greatly appreciates the support. So that QR code will be down there the entire time. And then I think I have a slide right here about that as well. So I am partnering with my very close friend who I miss so much, Casey Dunn Did It Again. So if you would like one of her bags, she made these by hand. It is the watermelon. So, you know, that's why we decided to kind of partner together. When I saw she was making these, if you Venmo her at least $50 to Casey Dunn Did It Again, she will send you a bag. Shoot her an email with your address so she like knows who you are, because she does hair as her business. She's doing this as like philanthropy. So she doesn't have like a storefront or other bags or things like that as of this moment in time. She may later, and I will tell you. So that's why it's like Venmo and email, because this is more just a one-to-one situation for anyone that was asking. Her TikTok and Instagram are Casey Dunn Did It Again. And if you have braids and you are in the South Florida area, she is a great, great provider. I have never used her services because obviously, but tons of people rave about her. She has very good reviews, and she actually used to do my nails for a while. So if we remember when I had long nails, yeah, so she is the absolute best. If you would like a bag, go ahead and reach out to her. She is gonna basically gather all the money together, and then she will put it in the GoFundMe. It was so nice of her to donate the materials. That was expensive. I don't know how much it was, but it was a lot. The materials, and B, the time to hand make all of them. Like the fact that she handmade all of them was great. So let's go ahead and get into the Denver airport. I'll mention this again at the end. And again, Dr. Sofian's QR code to his GoFundMe is down below. But the Denver airport has been a magnet for conspiracies since it opened in 1995. So this is just some basic airport info from Wikipedia. It is 33,000 acres. It is the largest airport in the Western Hemisphere by land area and the second largest on Earth. Denver. That's too many acres. That's too many acres. I'm not going to read all of this. It's 25 miles northeast of downtown Denver. They have runways. They're long. So it replaced an older airport that was a little bit further away. It serves 25 different airlines to over 215 destinations throughout the Americas, Europe, and Asia. It is a really big airport that has a lot of flights going in and out. One video I'll show you at the end where they say, like, why is this airport so big? They basically explain, even though Denver is not huge, this is the only major international airport in like middle America. So it's serving a huge area, and most of the passengers are connecting. There's not as many passengers who are coming to Denver. Kind of like the Atlanta airport. Atlanta airport, there's this saying my dad used to always say. He said, when you're flying to hell, you're going to have to change planes in Atlanta, because like a lot of people have to have a connection there. So that does make sense why like a random ass city has this huge airport. So that part, it still seems too big. I still think it's too big, but I get why it's big. It's too big, but I get why it's big. Can someone do the math of how many football fields the 33,000 acres is? Where was I? So it's a major hub for Frontier and Southwest. They have 40,000 employees, and it's like right in front of the Rocky Mountains, so pretty. And it's the third busiest airport in the world, as well as the third busiest in the United States. And then it went down, blah, 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 blah. You get it. It's an airport. 33,000 acres. Yeah, absolutely. So So, history of the airport. This is kind of boring, so I'm going to breeze through it. But I wanted to explain it because it's relevant to the conspiracies. So everything we're talking about right now is like confirmed real information, and then I will show you the conspiracies in a couple of slides. So Denver has, like I said, always been an busy airport, even since the 1960s, but that was called the Stapleton Airport. And the problem with the Stapleton Airport is that all of the area around it was already developed, so they couldn't expand the airport. So that's why they were like, let's build this fat ass giant airport instead in a new location, because then if we need to make it bigger later, we have 33,000 acres, which again, I still think is really excessive. So the Denver Regional Council of Governments investigated new areas for an airport, blah, 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 blah. They got a new mayor. He said he wanted to expand the current airport. He had support, but then, like I said, it was a developed area, so people were like, fuck you, we're going to sue you because it's loud. So they decided to annex 54 square miles of the county to build an airport away from established neighborhoods. And it was met with skepticism because it was really far from the heart of the city, a full 24 miles. So people were like, hey, oh, someone did the football field math. It's 25,000 football fields. That's crazy. I had a layover there and wanted to peel my skin off. It was so weird. Real. So people were having problems with it, but nothing outside of normal government projects. I think it should be here. I think it should be there, which all these concerns are valid. I think it's just very typical of any government project. There's going to be disagreement about location. The federal government put $500 million towards the project. In 2023, that would be equivalent to $1.1 billion. And the rest of it was going to be paid for by bonds that would be repaid by the airlines. I don't understand how that works, but whatever. And they broke ground September 1989, and then they got Mayor Wellington Webb. That sounds like a movie rich person name. Like, oh my god, who's that rich guy in the Boondocks, Mr. Onceler? Like, that's that kind of name. It's like an old-timey, like, Mr. Monopoly rich man. So, it was scheduled to open October 29th, 1993. At the time, United was refusing to move to the new airport over high proposed fees. So United was like, I hate the new Denver airport. I'm staying at the Stapleton Airport. You can't tell me what to do. So that's like a problem because that's a really big airline and like they need the money. The airline finally relented under the condition that they include an automated baggage system. So United was like, you have to bribe me with cool baggage technology or I will not go. So construction delays started pushing back the opening. And this is why there's some conspiracies, because it literally took fucking forever to build this place. So they pushed it back from December 93 to March 94. And then in September 93, delays due to a strike and other events made them push it back again to May 1994. And then in April 1994, the city invited reporters to come see the baggage system that United demanded they get. This new high-tech automated baggage system in 1994. Reporters were treated to the scenes of clothing and other personal effects scattered beneath the system tracks and carts that would often toss luggage right off the system. After the embarrassing preview, the mayor canceled the May opening. The baggage system continued to be a hassle, and they ended up terminating the baggage system after it opened. In 2005, with traditional baggage handlers manually loading luggage as they had been done at most other airports. So that is kind of the story. I put it in here. There's some more detail, but I really don't feel the need to read it. You kind of get the point. It was a $193 million system, and it was a failure. The May 15th opening is in doubt. It was 21 miles of track and 4,000 rail cars that were controlled by computers that direct the cars based on barcodes on the luggage. I think this is how it works in a lot of ways today, but technology in 2024 is really different than it was in 1994, so I see why this didn't go so well. And this is from the LA Times, 1994. And then they say that they're going back to basics with it. I don't know why I felt the need to like include all this detail about this luggage thing. And people are saying it's not going to be paid by the taxpayers, blah, 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 blah. So, Denver finally replaced Stapleton February 1995. So literally like 2 years after it was supposed to open. It took like twice as long as it should have. 16 months, like I said, that's basically 2 years, close enough. 16 months behind schedule and at a cost of $4.8 billion, $2 billion over budget. $2 billion over budget. $2 billion. So if it was today's money, the $4.8 billion that it cost in 2023, that would be $8.8 billion. Pumpkini, so I used to work in airport food service. Do you want to know the best thing about airport bars? Yes. What is the best thing about airport bars? That you can drink a margarita at 9:30 in the morning? I think that's pretty cool. I like the lawlessness of the airport. I appreciate that. Budget slay. Me on any project. So the construction employed 11,000 workers. The first flight was a United flight to Kansas City. And then a United flight from Colorado Springs was the first to arrive. So the airport is freaking open, baby. So before it opened, like we said, they held an open house and travelers were impressed by the trains between courses. I tried to find more videos of the baggage thing, but I really couldn't find that. I think I might have one in here later, but there was not much coverage of the baggage because it was a fail. This they did later where it was basically like to teach people how an airport works.
It's the train that goes to the planes.
We know where we're going. Hang on, he said it goes about 30 miles an hour.
All right. The train ride between concourses. For many visitors to DIA, it's already a favorite.
It's like going to Disney.
Many of the open house visitors were checking out the new airport so they'll know where to go and what to do when it opens.
We're pretending we're taking a vacation and we're going to check our bags now.
Real. Peter, is this our vacation?
I would trust the baggage system because Wellington said it works.
But we're just pretending. We wouldn't really check our bags because who knows where they'd wind up.
She's shady. I like her.
Souvenir programs for sale on DIA. Tells you all about the construction of the airport from the time.
In the main terminal, volunteers sold souvenir books.
Very good book.
Answer any questions for you, ma'am?
Volunteers sold souvenir books? Girl, get up. Y'all couldn't even pay people to sell the souvenir books? Who the fuck is volunteering to sell souvenir books at an airport open house and not even getting any of the profits?
The airport information stand was a popular place.
Baggage claim level, that's all this area right here.
Visitors checked out the artwork in the new airport.
This is controversial.
For each one of these.
That's what she heard it cost for each of these artist versions of paper airplanes.
That's cool.
It sounds pretty expensive to me. But then...
Is Denver just like a shady ass place? Everyone is throwing so much shade. But also I feel like that's the type of person to go to an airport open house. And also that's me. I'm that type of person.
What do I know?
Remember on TV all the problems you're having with that?
And a lot of visitors stopped to stare at all the bags, waiting to test the system they've heard so much about.
See?
And everyone continues to say that the bags and everything else will move according to schedule on opening day at DIA.
This open house is now over.
Ed Filmer, 9 News at the new airport.
So yeah, there's some nice little news coverage. That was the open house. This is the actual opening. I told you we have lots of videos. I love some 90s news coverage.
And Denver International Towers, Westman 92.
Here at Denver Tower, runway 35 left, cleared to land.
A smooth start for Denver International Airport, but it's been a rocky road getting here. A United jet.
Imagine hosting an airport open house post 9/11. That would literally never happen. If anything, every time I go to the airport, it's different. I'm like, where did that wall come from? Like, security's different every time. There's different rules every time. They would never.
Towers, Westman 92.
Here at Denver Tower, runway 35 left, cleared to land.
A smooth start for Denver International Airport, but it's been a rocky road getting here.
A United jet touched down just before 6 and landed a place in the history books. The first passenger plane.
Not the news station, the news radio station at that, sponsoring the first bag. Also, can I just say, the subscribers are going off tonight. I absolutely love that for us. Stardust Mosaic, thank you for subscribing.
Set down at the airport. What do you think? I think it's great. Just like the airport's supposed to be.
I think it's great. Just like the airport's supposed to be. So true, bestie. Literally so true.
They're smiling now, but it wasn't this way just a few months ago. The $5 billion airport finished over budget and late. When the automated baggage system shredded luggage, it was the butt of jokes. Even the weather threatened to undermine the kickoff, snow falling on opening day after several days of unusually mild weather. Piled on top of all that is word that the people who paid for the airport, the folks who bought the bonds, are suing. They're claiming city officials underestimated problems connected with building the airport. But when the first passenger walked into the shining, sparkling building, all he wanted was a smooth flight to Cancun.
Yes, I want to look around before I take off. Nice place so far.
Perhaps there's not much chance for big problems. Not yet. Not with the entire nation watching.
The entire nation watching. How peaceful was it in 1995 that an airport opening had the attention of the nation? I feel like our presidential election barely even has the attention of the nation. So this is crazy as fuck. Like we said, it's huge. They have 33,000 acres. So the news station built a scale model to explain how to get to the airport.
We brought in this huge scale model of the DIA property to give you some perspective. This is 54 square miles. It's twice the size of Manhattan in New York City. We want to show you the 12-mile journey that you're going to take from I-70 to the north and to the east and to the north again to that white blob over there, which is the terminal. We'll begin our journey on I-70, which of course generally runs east and west. If you're coming from Denver, just past the Chambers Road exit, you'll get to the Pena.
Do they not have signs? Why is this on the news? I can't stop laughing at the setup. That's why I put this in here, because this is, why? Why? Was there nothing else worth reporting? Right? Because I feel like this would never happen today. They would never do this. They would just be like, figure it out. Get on Google Maps.
Boulevard exit, and that will swing you around onto Pena Boulevard.
Yeah, twice the size of Manhattan.
Coming from the east, you'll get off at Airport Boulevard, and that will connect you with Pena Boulevard. So now we're going north along Pena Boulevard, and the first thing that we reach is 48th Avenue. That doesn't go anywhere at the moment.
And you're just supposed to remember all these steps. I'm so glad Google Maps has existed the whole time I've had to know how to drive. Because this sounds so stressful. Y'all lived like this?
Next is 56th Avenue. This will be a major alternate access to DIA because they're going to extend this to the west across the Stapleton property all the way to Vasquez Boulevard. So we go 3 to 4 miles further north along Pena Boulevard, and we'll start a broad swing to the east. And just about the time we finish...
You can't even pause the TV while you go grab a pencil and paper. Used to keep maps in an atlas in the car. You used a paper map and a compass. I know all of this, but in practice, it's crazy to me. My anxiety likes this walkthrough. When old people try and give me verbal directions somewhere, this is such a long drive, IRL. It seems like it.
That broad swing.
I know that those Ubers to the Denver airport are probably $200.
We get to this point right here, which is Tower Road. This is important for the people coming to DIA from the north because this is where you will get on to Pena Boulevard. This is about 6 to 7 miles from the terminal at this point.
We're still 7 miles from the terminal.
A little beyond that now, we're going to the east. You get to this impressive-looking interchange.
This is like someone explaining
the only
a board
problem
game.
Is it doesn't exist.
Missing an exit isn't an option.
This is E470, and it's at least 3 to 4 years away. Beyond there, over to here, and the Access Plaza. This is where you'll stop and pick up a ticket to go the rest of the way to the terminal. You
have to pay a toll? I bought a flight. That was my toll. What the fuck are you talking about?
Change from Stapleton, everybody has to get a ticket at this plaza, whether you intend to park or not. Just past the Access Plaza, you'll begin to see the rental car agency lots and cars and buildings.
We're getting closer.
And this is where you need to think and begin to make your decision about which airline you're going to go to. You're going to see the signs for the airlines. And as you reach the airline cargo areas, you'll take a swing to the left, to the north, and it is at this point where you pretty much have to have your decision made. So we've made our turn to the left, and we're now looking north toward the terminal.
Okay, we're at the terminal now, so we're moving on. And then this is just some more coverage of them opening. A traveler's guide.
So you've made the drive and found the new airport.
I love that y'all are just as much of nerds as I am, that we're literally watching videos about an airport. I just wanted to call that out.
Now what? The first step is checking in your baggage. It's not that different at DIA than at Stapleton. In fact, it may be easier. There are 24 curbside drop-off points outside the new airport and nearly 200 ticket counters inside. Once you check your bags, you'll go down one level. That's where you'll go through the security checkpoint. From there, you'll go down one more level and you'll be on your way. To get to your concourse, you'll ride on the automated guideway transit system.
Look at that hair.
For a people mover.
Oh, I love it.
The shuttles run every 1.5 minutes. The automated voice on the shuttle will tell you when you're approaching concourse.
28-year-old videos about an airport. If it's more than 20 minutes away, I'm not going.
A, B, or C. Continental, America West, Frontier, Mexicana, and several other smaller airlines will...
Okay, so I just kind of wanted you to see some footage of the inside and stuff. So, the airport's opened 1995. We're all living life. We're all doing our thing. Promise the conspiracies are coming soon. There was a blizzard in 2003 that tore a hole through the terminal's white fabric roof. This picture is not of that roof, but I couldn't find one of that roof, and this was an article about the whole thing. Over 100,000 people lost power in the storm, and some people were stranded. To be specific, 4,000 travelers were stranded in the airport. And I understand it was a historic storm, but like several thousand people stuck for 2 days seems like a lot. In March. That is true. It is in March. But I don't know. It just seems like things are going wrong very quickly. Another blizzard happened in 2006 and they had to close the airport for 45 hours, but I'm not clear if, that stranding situation was shorter, longer, whatever. But again, stranding thousands of people. So I guess this one was 2 days, so that's longer than 45 hours, but it seems like they're roughly about the same. Denverites expect snow in March 1,000%. Yeah, that's what I just feel like, I don't know, like you're the Denver airport. I feel like you should have a lock on snow. So this is an article from 2006 where 5,000 people were stuck overnight on Wednesday and the airport was to remain closed until noon on Friday. Many people were bused to hotels, but many slept on the floor of the airport. We hate to see it, especially at a time like this. Blah, 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 blah. This one was around Christmas time, so that's a tough situation. Here's all the people asleep in the Denver airport in 2006, right before Christmas. Womp, 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 womp. This is when they invested in new snow removal equipment. So now instead of it taking 45 minutes to clear snow, it's only 15. And I feel like it should have been that way the entire time. After shunning it for a decade because of its high fees, Southwest entered in 2006 as well. So that made the airport grow even bigger and busier. In 2015, they added a hotel. And then in 2016, they got a commuter rail, which some people who live there, have been there, I guess, were saying that the train is only $10. So that's actually really fucking cool. I love a train system. It's transportation to transportation. Love it, love it, love it. 2015, a political campaign was launched by a mayor to radically expand commercial development there, which was previously prohibited in an intergovernment agreement where the agreement was approved by voters. So I guess they wanted to allow more like commercial activity and business at the airport. So airport, airport, airport. I got ChatGPT to summarize the rest of the history so we can get to the fun stuff. They had some renovations in 2018. We'll talk about how people got upset with some stuff that happened there. They're adding new gates. They have security expansion. They replace signs. They increase capacity on their trains. They had a train system failure. They have they started having proposals for alternatives. They started having flights to Africa, which was a new destination for for them. They got some awards. They had more construction and blah, 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 blah. You get it. It's an airport. So the train failure was because their underground train broke down and they did not have alternate ways of moving people. They did not build a backup walkway. The train is the only way to move people from point A to point B, which feels like really, really poor planning. Because the Atlanta airport, which I've been to a million times, they do have like walkways because I have taken them before. Because if the train is really, really, really crowded, I'm kind of claustrophobic, so if it's not that far, I'd rather just walk. You know? Like, I'm usually on a walkway moment unless I'm in, like, a press for time, just because I don't like being in a crowded train with people if I can avoid it. Yeah, and the walkways in Atlanta are pretty. I was in the Atlanta airport maybe, like, a year or two ago, and they had, like, a history one, and I was mad that my flight was soon because I wanted to literally stay and, like, hang out in there and read everything. So yeah, Denver did not take a play from Atlanta's book, and they did not have walkways. So when they had major train delays and mechanical errors and stuff like that, delays were causing people to miss flights because they literally just couldn't get to where they needed to be. And then the ripple effects continued because so many people were missing their flights, just like everything really got fucked up. And a spokeswoman said, "We feel it now. We all would have loved to have a walkway." So it was unclear if they were going to do anything about it. But I think that thing said recently they decided to invest more into it. And in 2000, they had a proposal for a walkway, but the plan was scrapped over concerns of the cost and logistics. So even though it was a plan, they never did it. And then in 2021, it came to bite them in the ass. They are doing some big renovation that appears to be very, very important. It is called the Great Hull Project. They literally had this like all over their fucking website. The place was originally designed for 50 million passengers. Now they are at 78 million passengers, and so they anticipate it'll go up to 100 million, so they're expanding the airport. It's going to be expensive as fuck, and it seems like a lot of people have a lot of feelings about that. So, here's some drama about their airport expansion.
Certain doors aren't open, it's harder to get to the trains, it's hard to get to the...
You can see lots of construction. People are upset about it, and the architect behind the iconic airport terminal is pissed.
Certain doors aren't open, it's harder to get to the trains, it's hard to get to the luggage.
There's a lot of space that they're taking up.
Well, it seems the only thing messier than the construction at DIA is the relationship between the airport and the company they hired to do the construction.
And today that relationship ended in divorce.
People are going to be asking us what happened. What the hell happened?
We, in good faith, picked a partner that we thought was the right one for us.
What all of this means for a final completion date is still up in the air.
This is a building that...
They're adding an actual football field to make it 25,001 football fields.
It should be proud to work on, proud to be involved with, and do your all to make it a success, not just, trash it. That's the part. It's just sad to me.
Now, that man you just heard from is the person behind the iconic design of Denver's airport. We are referring to the tent-like look that you see as you drive out to DIA.
And tonight, he's worried Denver's front door is being trashed, and he doesn't like seeing the fighting and the problems.
I fucking love the local news. I love it. I think we need to be giving these people so much more money.
Plaguing the Great Hall renovation project.
And he worries about the airport's reputation and future. Liz Gilardi met him in the mountains to get his unique take.
We're in Cotopaxi, Colorado, which is just south of Westcliff, Colorado, in the Wet Mountain Valley.
Miles away, nearly 3 hours from Denver.
And it's a really nice small town community.
Jim Bradburn is living out his retirement, while one of his most iconic buildings lives on, welcoming people from all over. He admits he doesn't catch much of the news out of Denver. He's too busy enjoying these views.
That's why I have not heard.
When I called him up, the retired architect didn't know about the messy situation.
I like how they called him and were like, "Will you please do this interview about all this drama?" And he was like, "What drama?" He was like, "Oh, they're doing a renovation?"
Involving the airport terminal he helped build. Denver airport officials ended a contract to renovate the Great Hall, firing the team 13 months after breaking ground.
So now I know. Oh, I'm sorry. for all of you in Denver.
Brad Bird wanted to talk with us for one reason.
I hate to see that building getting trashed.
He says DIA is still very much part of his DNA, and he hates to see it like this.
You're being welcomed by confusion.
And now it's like telling you to go outside.
By chaos, by dust, by dirt, by construction, by corridors that take you to wherever you need to go and all that sort of stuff. It's not a very friendly experience at all.
It's not how he designed the terminal. He says flying is stressful enough. He wanted to make sure the terminal was welcoming and easy to navigate.
Taken your front door and you've trashed it. And what does that say to the rest of the world, you know? Yeah, if you come to Denver, good luck.
Brad Byrne believes somewhere...
If you come to Denver, good luck. And this is every airport.
Along the way, someone deviated from the airport's master plan. A plan he says took growth into account and called for a second terminal to the south of the current one.
I make no sense of it, quite frankly. But I'm sitting here, you know, 3 hours away from Denver. And that's easy to criticize, and I'll be the first to admit that. But when people don't follow a very good plan that was already worked out by a lot of very smart people, you got to wonder what's going on.
So then they just kind of get into like some more political stuff and budget stuff. But I figured we would want to get to the weird stuff. Ooh, not the mic hitting the wall. So let's get to it. Put your tinfoil hats on and let's talk about the Denver airport conspiracies now that we've been here for a full 50 minutes. I love that for us. So even before construction began, there were a number of conspiracy theories. Arguably, the tamest was that there was no need for the airport in the first place and that it was designed to hide something else underneath it. A lot of people say, like, oh, we never needed this airport. We had Stapleton, but like we talked about before, Stapleton like was not serving the community as well as it needed to and was just too small and they couldn't expand because lots of people lived around there and did not want them to. So that is that one. We're going to start with this BuzzFeed video that just kind of lists the conspiracies, and then we'll get into the details of each conspiracy. I got really high during COVID and watched a documentary on this. I'm getting flashbacks.
I'm at the Denver International Airport where there's tons of conspiracy theories surrounding this place. Let's just get down to the bottom of this. Supposedly, it went over $2 billion while building this airport. Is that true?
No, I don't know that.
Okay.
I know it was way over $2 billion.
So it went over budget.
It went way over budget.
The following are facts. Construction of the airport fell 16 months behind schedule and went $2 billion over budget with a final cost of $4.8 billion. Here are some of the theories. In the Denver airport, there is supposedly an underground facility meant to act as an emergency bunker for the global elite, made up of billionaires, world leaders, politicians, and celebrities.
I just want to tell you guys, I have not been invited. I have asked many times for my RSVP card and allergen preference form for the global elite end of the world bunker. No one responds to my calls. No one responds to my emails. They've made it very clear I'm not invited to the global elite underground end of the world bunker party.
Another theory suggests that there is a vast underground network of New World Order command bunkers. And another theory suggests that there is a FEMA concentration camp for future use.
What I want to know is if FEMA was to put people in a camp, what's the win for FEMA? I always see people talking about that. Oh, the FEMA camps, the FEMA camps. Why? Like, I'm ready to think that the government has something bad planned, but I need you to be able to explain it to me. Like, I need you... FEMA is Federal Emergency Management something. So, like, if there's a hurricane, FEMA gets involved with it. So that's why I'm like, what is... If anything, FEMA... This would be, like, more work for them. It just doesn't make sense to me.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories about the airport here when they were first building it.
Right, just watch Miss Redacted's Hurricane Katrina stream. We don't need to make shit up to be mad.
Especially in the bottom part, the lower part of it, the airport here. You know, where the baggage comes in.
Yeah. An airport construction worker claimed that the scheduled delay had been because 5 multi-storied buildings had been built beneath the airport. The same construction worker, along with others, reportedly said that there was a complex network of tunnels beneath the airport. It was later determined that these underground tunnels may actually now be home to the airport's rail system. When you enter the Denver airport, there's a horse statue officially titled Mustang,
Lucifer!
but nicknamed Lucifer, and is thought to be cursed. One conspiracy about the horse statue is that it represents the 4th horseman of the apocalypse, which represents death, spoken about in the biblical book of Revelations. Its eyes glow red, a weird fiery red in the middle of the night. The horse statue actually fell on its sculptor, killing him by severing one of his arteries.
The sculpture fell on the artist and killed him. Okay?
We made it to the Denver International Airport dedication stone. If you look closely, you can see that they have the Freemason logo, clear and proud. The Freemasons are a secret fraternal society that's allegedly the largest in the world. This secret society has existed at least since the 18th century, but possibly as far back as the Middle Ages. The Freemasons have had many powerful members throughout history, which has made people suspicious about the organization's intentions.
I actually used to live, there's like a big Freemason building in Miami, and I used to live like right around the corner from it. I literally used to drive past it on my way home from work every single day. And I almost never saw anyone going in or out of there. But it was a huge building that was like obviously being maintained because they painted it at one point because it was like, look, a little dirty, a little needed repair. And they painted it. And like there was obviously it was being maintained and stuff, but I never saw people there. It's a secret society. If people know about it, like people don't know what they do there. So I guess that's what the secret is.
The date that the airport was dedicated was March 19th, 1994, and that number equals 33, which is the highest level that you can get to in Freemasonry.
Cool. So the date that it opened is the Freemason, like, elite number, I guess.
This mural is titled In Peace and Harmony with Nature and is supposed to address the destruction of the environment. This mural is titled Children of the World Dream of Peace and is supposed to represent the wish to get rid of violence in society.
Just seeing the couple murals that are here in Denver, there's 4 in this airport, the 2 that are on that side and the 2 that are behind me. They're pretty much showing kind of like, different ways of how the Illuminati affects life in every way.
They're just showing different ways of how the Illuminati affects life in every day. And I just want to call out Shan Shan. My boyfriend is a Freemason. I'm not even positive what they do there. We need to talk to him immediately. Please get him on the line. Please get him on the line.
Denver Office of Cultural Affairs has publicly outlined the process of choosing artwork for the airport. A project selection panel made up of community members and artists is appointed to choose the artwork, but it must be approved by several government committees and the mayor before being commissioned. 3 dead women that look like they're all from 3 different nationalities. We have a letter from a child who died in Auschwitz in the Denver airport. So I don't understand the connection between me trying to catch my flight and having to run into this.
That is a lot. To have a note from a hypothetical child who died in Auschwitz in a mural at the Denver airport, I think we did lose the plot a little bit somewhere there.
If you look closely at this image of the dedication stone in the Denver airport, you will see it says New World Airport Commission. The New World Order is thought to be a small group of powerful people secretly working together throughout history towards an all-powerful global government. Even if the murals aren't referencing the New World Order, many people in government had to approve them before they went up.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about all these conspiracies. Someone said, are Freemasons good or do we not like them? That I don't know. Like, I think we truly don't really know what they're doing. I've never understood what they do. Other than that, everything's a secret. So I guess they're good at that. Like, I do respect their ability to keep that shit under lock, which makes me suspicious. But anyway, so trigger warning, Nazis do come up, but we're really not going to get too into it because it's really bullshit, I think. So like I said, some of these conspiracies are like lighthearted and fun and stupid, and we're going to spend more time on those, but I did want to talk about the ones that are kind of like giving, I don't want to say giving QAnon because they aren't, but just giving like something's off here. So they think that a lot of these murals portray Nazism or death or a prophecy of the world ending. And the murals also got a lot of attention because when they did construction on the airport, they moved the murals to keep them safe during the construction project. So people were like, oh, see, the murals are important to them. The murals are important to them. But I also just think, like, it's pretty normal to move art during a construction project, so that, like, doesn't have a huge red flag to me. And one of the more prevalent theories is that the runways at the airport are arranged to form a swastika as a tribute to the fascist New World Order. I'll show you a video in a little bit. It's not a swastika, but it is kind of that shape. But I also think if it's also just a gathering of lines and they just drew over specific ones. Like without a swastika drawn on it, you don't see it at all. But when they draw it on, you're like, oh, there are lines there. But there's also so many lines everywhere. So that one didn't really add up for me. And like I said, I'm the first to believe a conspiracy theory, but I do have critical thinking skills, so I guess I'm not the first to believe it, but I sometimes believe them. I don't have faith in the government being honest, but I do have critical thinking skills is what I'm trying to get across here. So as soon they say this was not as far-fetched, I think it is a little far-fetched. The layout does bear a little bit of resemblance if you choose to selectively ignore certain parts. And the reasoning behind it is pretty straightforward. Basically, they have multiple runways in different directions so that multiple planes can be taking off and doing things because it is a major airport. So that one didn't really add up to me. So here is the layout, like I said. So you can see, like, the one on the left, I should have included just like I should have just taken a screenshot of Google Images. But you can see, like, when you're just looking at the lines, it's just a lot of lines of runways. But then when they draw a swastika on it, you're like, okay, yeah, I guess. But, like, it's kind of a reach to me. You know what I mean? Did anyone else watch those TikToks in college of the college professor for graphic design where she points out every student's accidental swastikas on their project? I think I did see that. Would you be interested in other lighthearted conspiracy theories for streams? Yes, absolutely. Normally I don't do conspiracy theories because I think it's a slippery slope, but that's like, I did Flat Earth, I'm doing Denver Airport, but I'm not going to do like scary ones. So anyway, back to the murals. Lots of these conspiracies overlap. So the murals were created by Leo Tanguma, and they've drawn attention since the early 90s. Much of the focus has been on imagery of destruction rather than the storyline that is, he says it ends with a vision of world peace. Along with other elements, the conspiracy theories about the murals have gone viral with rumors to Nazi or Illuminati ties and warnings of the New World Order. He said, I need to see what's wrong in society and then reflect it in my murals. At the same time, I want to reflect what's beautiful in society and my community. The murals in the airport are now temporarily in storage and depict the terrors of war and pollution. Amongst the chaos is a group of sleeping children. From their minds extends a gray mist that turns into a rainbow, leading to a portrayal of an ideal world entitled In Harmony with Peace and Nature. My little slideshows stopped working on Nearpod for some reason. You see what I mean? It's like super glitchy and weird. But yeah, there's a couple of them. Let me see if I can just like Google some pictures of it since my slideshows didn't work. Denver Airport murals. Okay. I'll just open some of these in new tabs. Oh, damn it, it's going to do it tiny. Whatever. We'll just along here for the ride. So here's one that you can see. It's like this guy with a gun taking over, and then there's this rainbow and these sleeping children. I don't really know what's going on there. The way I feel about these murals is like, am I a fan of this art? Not particularly. Do I get it? Maybe a little bit. Your FBI agent is messing up the Nearpod so we don't learn the secrets. Like, I don't get it, but like art is art, I guess. But I see why there are conspiracy theories. I really don't like the Palestinian flag next to the Israel flag because, I don't know, I feel like that's just really oversimplifying something that's very complicated. Same thing with the British and the Irish. Like, that seems to be on brand. There's lots of other flags of nations that have historically been at war with each other, which, like, I get it. I get what you're trying to say. I don't think they had any bad intentions here, but it is corny. And, like, I don't love it. I'm not in love with that. It is kind of unsettling. I don't think it means that we're at, like, risk of government takeover, but I am slightly unsettled. So let's get more into this New World Order conspiracy theories. Because of the very isolated locations, people think that it is like a prison camp for the New World Order. I don't know what the New World Order is going to have us doing in prison. Do we get movies? I don't know. And the time capsule at the airport. Oh, I hate when TikTok makes me do this because all those people are fucking sleeping on live and now they make you once an hour, like, verify that you're awake. So the time capsule at the airport has the Freemason symbols and says New World Airport Commission, which is a group that has never existed. So that is what prompted a lot of these conspiracy theories. And a spokesperson for the airport said that the Freemasons created the cover and that's why they included their symbol, but there's no evidence that they have any influence in running the airport. And the wording about the commission was used to represent that the new airport would permit access to the world as a reference to a New World Symphony. So it seems like they have an answer for everything. Seems like these people just have an answer for it all. This is a really insane video. I just want to apologize about how insane this video is, but I had to watch it and I felt like you all would appreciate how insane it is. I think it's just a lot of people using the same verbiage to mean exerting power over other people. I think that's what I don't think anyone's organized enough for this. I feel like we have enough evil going on. We don't need to make up more schemes and scams.
Today, many say the mission of the New World Order is population control and world domination.
At the Denver airport.
Frightening prospects that I want to learn more about.
Delusional best friends telling each other exactly.
New World Order is that there's going to be a global takeover. They're going to dissolve all.
I meant to make a tinfoil hat and wear it tonight, and I totally forgot because of what I was talking about the first 20 minutes. This is so funny to me. Pumpkini, or Pumpkimi, I think. Honestly, when people start saying weird shit to me, I tell them there's only 2 escalators in Wyoming, and they're both in Casper. There are fascists trying to create a new world order at the Denver airport, and all you bitches care about, the only thing these hoes care about, is Wheel of Fortune on their flat screen TVs. Kids these days.
To what's going on, just like in pre-Nazi Germany.
I think it's insulting to the many lives lost in World War II to compare those two things. The music is killing me. Scott? Rap. I'm sorry I made you watch that whole thing. So this is an article from the Denver Library about some of the different conspiracies. While the airport itself is home to a staggering amount of far-fetched information, there's also a great degree of speculation about what lies underneath the airport. One claim is that in addition to the known runways, there's also a secret runway just below the surface, which extends for 4 or 5 miles. When the time comes for whatever the time may be, they can be quickly uncovered so that massive planes carrying the satanic global elites trademark can be landed safely, ensuring they are quickly ushered to safety in the underground bunkers. So that's what people think is happening in the tunnels, is the secret runway. This lady went home and let out a huge sigh and poured herself a stiff drink and muttered, "The dipshittery I've had to deal with today. God." Oh, God. The airport has been around since '94, and the New World Order ain't shown its face yet. Oh. Why is the chat paused? Go. Okay. Anyway, so according to many unnamed anonymous sources, there is a vast, complex underground area beneath the airport. A variety of conspiracy sites claim that much of the chaos and turmoil during the airport's construction was actually deliberately engineered. The claim goes that by constantly altering the plans, changing contractors, and shuffling around construction crews, nobody would have a clear picture of what exactly was being built. Well, nobody but the lizard people, of course. This claim is somewhat undermined by the fact that they like to frequently cite one anonymous whistleblower who claimed to have worked on a construction crew and therefore knows exactly what was being built. This brings us to the aforementioned claims about the underground bunkers. While it's true that there are many tunnels beneath the airport, the notion of what amounts to an underground city is fanciful at best. A facility of the size of this airport requires a significant number of maintenance tunnels, not to mention the sheer amount of passenger baggage that needs to be routed through it. It's therefore not surprising that they have a substantial facility beneath the terminals. However, despite what Mr. Anonymous claims, there is no evidence of a 6-story deep complex complete with everything that the elites need to thrive in the post-apocalyptic world. Another hypothesis that has been presented is that the underground facility would not be one for survival of insert secret society of your choosing. Because that's what I've seen, is there wasn't really a clear, like, what's this for? It seems like lots of different conspiracy groups are like, the people we made up are going to the Denver airport. It doesn't seem like it would happen the other way around. It seems like the Denver airport is like a square hole that people are trying to put like a round peg into of conspiracy work. So they think it's not for the survival of the scary, powerful people. They think it's going to be to imprison the rebels of the scary, powerful people. Alternatively, some people think it's what's known as DUMB, the acronym for Deep Underground Military Base. This theory says that there's a tunnel connecting the Denver airport to a NORAD facility in the Cheyenne Mountain. What's NORAD stand for? I'm gonna look it up. NORAD, North American Aerospace Defense Command. Cool. So they think it's connected to a NORAD facility. And for record, the longest road tunnel is the Larda Tunnel, which is 15 miles. And this imaginary tunnel would have to be 90 miles. I specify a road tunnel since the tunnels would be designed to transport, water rather than people can extend significantly further. So there are longer tunnels, but not ones that people travel through. Again, with so many of these claims, there's no actual evidence to support these assertions. It's all just based on speculation, conjecture, and paranoia. I want to be paranoid. Leave me alone. So, yeah. The question remains, if a secret society was actually there, why would they deliberately leave behind so many clues? That's usually my first, like, sus in a conspiracy, is like, why would they leave all these clues behind for us? More from the Denver Library. This immediately raises hackles of theorists as using phrases like the New World Order, and a few organizations are frequently targeted by conspiracies like the Freemasons, which, if you're a secret, you can't be mad at people for assuming shit. Like, if you are going to create a secret organization, you can't get mad when we start guessing. Like, we want to know. If it's nothing bad, tell us. So, if you want to be secret, we get to talk shit. That's just how that works. So anyway, one of the more prominent claims is that there is the New World Airport Commission, which they kind of talked about. The problem with this theory is not only is a real thing, but this is kind of boring. I'm going to skip through some of these. You guys get the point. Basically, they think it's New World Order type stuff. So this was another thing that I found online where people think that it is a secret society because of this engraving with like stone that's at the airport. I don't know what it says, but apparently it is actually in Navajo, and the translation are as follows. The screenshot is white metal, and then another part says the mountain is white, or simply White Mountain, Tallow River, and then there's another one that's a mountain sacred to the Navajo people that's in this area as well. So people that are like, they have these secret codes, No, it's literally just representative of the history of that area using the language of the people indigenous to that area. And when I went into this, I truly wanted to find evidence for you all. I truly hoped that there was something weird going on. So this is some more evidence collected by the Denver Library about the Denver airport. So it says New World Airport Commission on some of these documents. This is an opening celebration thing, and this is an air show fact sheet that basically, like Stacy said in that video, it was a group of community people that created like events to publicize the airport, I guess. And then this is a press release for them about like corporate donations committed, and again, New World Airport Commission. So that's some of the evidence for that. There's that Freemason thing again. There is another conspiracy theory that the art installation in the Sea Concourse represents the ruins of a post-apocalyptic city. This is that art installation. Imagine your job as the Denver Airport librarian. No, it's the Denver Airport system writing about I'm a fucking idiot. It is the Denver Library System. The librarians of the city of Denver at a normal library, they're writing about the airport. I don't think they're affiliated. You can tell my brain is like absolute mush right now. So I am not really getting ruins of a post-apocalyptic city. Now that you say that, I don't not see it, but I think it's a little bit of a reach. Another big conspiracy is because they had so many VIP guests to dedicate the new airport. Dignitaries had a gala. This, like, okay. I feel like it wasn't anyone that important because I looked up who the guests were and I didn't see any names. If it was like, who were some really famous people in the 90s? Like, if it was like the Bushes, like Reagan's children, like people like that, I would be with you. But it literally just seemed like B-list celebrities that were generally from this area, which sounds about right. And rich people want to party. So now we're going to go through some of the other conspiracies from the airport, but some of them overlap a little bit, so there might be a couple repeats here. So the tunnels. The delay in opening the airport was largely due to the tunnels, and the budget was a lot with the tunnels. The scope has been exaggerated, and there's lore that the tunnels lead to underground survival bunkers, the military bases, home for aliens, home for lizard people, or to that aerospace defense command. So that's what I mean, like, the lizard people think it's at the Denver airport. The people that think that the rich elite are making bunkers think the bunker's at the Denver airport. I do think the rich elite have bunkers. I don't think they are coordinated with each other. I think they have individual bunkers. Maybe some families coordinate. I don't think there's like a mass coordination. But I do think a lot of rich people have bunkers. And there is news stories about luxury homes in like California and New York that have like big ass safe rooms and bunkers and things like that. They're doing their bunkers in New Zealand and buying up land. Interesting. Why New Zealand? See what I mean? Like, I'm ready to believe you. And I just didn't believe what I found out about the Denver airport. Construction in the 80s and 90s was crazy, and handshake deals and long drinking launches, of course, it took forever. So actual use is to move luggage, like we said. This is what's hilarious to me. Employees have been known to prank the media by wearing lizard masks, and videos of blurry lizard people have appeared online. So I love that the hourly workers at the Denver airport are having a great time with this. I absolutely love that for them. There's drawings of aliens that are on the tunnel walls, but they think it's just the employees that are doing the alien graffitis. So here is some more footage of inside the tunnels.
I don't know. Every day, on their way to catch a plane at DIA, thousands of people walk over it.
Why are the subtitles weird?
And they don't even know what's going on right underneath them.
I wish I did. I have no idea.
Deep down in the trenches, out of sight and mind, there is an underground city. And just like all cities, there's a freeway system. In this case, full of tugs, carts, and sometimes chaos. This is where the airlines move our luggage from plane to baggage claim. And there's no time to waste.
When they're offloaded, they go into the when they're offloaded, they go into the dump belts. Everybody's yelling and screaming, where are my bags, where are my bags? And a lot of times, you know, there's traffic. People get stuck behind other airlines.
This is one of two 7,000-foot tunnels under DIA. It is huge down here, more than 1 million square feet of space.
1 million square feet of tunnels under the airport. I see why people think it's weird.
And just over that wall, well, that's the train that you take. It reminds you of an actual freeway system. There are all kinds of signs posted and speed limits to follow.
Okay, you get the point. Tunnels. Another related legend is that this is the secret. See, I told you there was a lot of repeats in here. Okay, this is what I wanted. The others suggest that this is home to something supernatural like aliens or lizard people. After Jordan Peele's 2019 horror film Us, some even said that it could be to house a community of murderous doppelgangers ready to rise out of the surface of the earth and take over. Although the airport acknowledges that there are several subterranean levels beneath the main terminal, they say that the tunnels only extend to the perimeter of the airport, less than 2 miles. So it's a ton of square footage of tunnels, but it doesn't actually extend that far out. They also insist that you're much more likely to meet mundane office workers than billionaires, since some of the underground levels host work and office spaces as well. This is a very famous alien graffiti that was in the media that a lot of people were like, see, there's aliens underneath there, but the Denver airport again and again has said that this was an employee and that all these secret languages is either the Navajo nature stuff that I showed you earlier, or is employees just having a grand old time at work and making the best of their work situation. Like we said, they're adamant that any purported evidence of space aliens is just graffiti from mischievous employees, some of whom have been known to put on lizard masks to prank unsuspecting coworkers. I want to work here. It seems fun. Another claim is that this art installation is like legitimizing the flat earth conspiracy theory. As somewhat of an expert in the flat earth conspiracy theory, me and anyone who attended that stream can tell you that's not what the flat earth map looks like. It's not. That's not what the flat earth map looks like. The flat earthers have agreed upon a map, and that is not it. So again, I was ready to agree with you, but you guys are not putting the research in. I already showed you this. This was those little city ruins. A lot of people think that this is something nefarious as well. They're like, oh, what do these things mean? What does that mean? What does those symbols mean? And you might be tempted to think that they are the chemical symbols for gold and silver, and they are. That's exactly what they are, and it is a nod to the fact that there's been lots of mining in Denver, in Colorado in general. Just an acknowledgement of the history. But these are what people think. They think that this refers, the AUAG refers to a pathogen known as the Australian antigen. Of course, an antigen is something that requires an immune response, not an actual pathogen. In fact, there is something called the Australian antigen, so named because it was first found in an Australian Aboriginal patient, and it's used to diagnose hepatitis B. Hardly something destined to wipe out all of humanity. So they think that the AUAG, they're like, it stands for the Australian antigen, which is going to kill us all. But in fact, the Australian antigen seems like very useful in modern medicine and probably has saved lives. So still, I'm trying to grab, and the Denver airport conspiracy theorists are not giving me anything to grab. So another sculpture gained attention of the internet is the 22-foot sculpture of Anubis. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. The ancient Egyptian god of death. This was put up in June of 2010 as a part of an advertising campaign for the Denver Art Museum that had a traveling King Tut exhibit there for about a year. So the piece was paid for by private funds of the art museum, and then it was removed when the exhibition left town, but it really went all over the internet and people were like, see, something's going on, but it was literally just to advertise a thing. Another piece of artwork that receives a lot of attention that we mentioned earlier is Mustang, who is commonly known as Blucifer. The fact that the artist Luis Jimenez was killed when he was creating the sculpture because a piece of it broke loose and severed an artery in his leg has fueled a lot of rumors. It is 32 feet tall. That's very tall. Horses are not that big. And the so-called demonic nature of the installation remains unsubstantiated beyond the fact that people find it to be creepy. The eyes are often pointed as proof of its nefarious nature, but the eyes were actually a tribute to the artist's father, who owned and operated a neon sign shop where the artist learned to weld and paint and how to work with his hands and all that stuff. His wife also recounted a story of Jimenez investigating a noise late at night and being frightened by a pair of glowing red eyes in his living room. After initial shock, he realized that they were those of his horse Blackjack, who had somehow gotten into the house. She speculates that he chose the red eyes to illustrate the point that sometimes something that is seemingly frightening simply just because you're unfamiliar or unexpected, and their horse, a Blackjack, was used as the model for the work. So yeah, and they made it blue because the horse was a blue roan Appaloosa. Blucifer, again with my things not working. Blucifer did get vandalized, which we will discuss. The slideshow's not working, is making me sad. See, like it works for a second and then it doesn't. I'll show you this video about Blucifer.
Nothing says welcome to Denver like staring down the face of a demon horse.
But Blucifer's our horse. How many other cities can brag about having something like that? Our Tom Mustang goes 360 on the 32-foot sculpture. Harry, for those who think it's scary, awesome, or just plain strange.
St. Louis has its famous Gateway Arch. New York, the Statue of Liberty. Here in the Mile High City,
it's kind of creepy.
We have this guy, a 32-foot...
I call it the devil horse.
Known simply as Mustang.
It's like just amazing that when you see this Bronco sitting out there, you know you like a Bronco country.
Maybe so, but we're just getting started. As you just heard, many feel this electric blue Mustang is way too demonic. Others say he's as cool as the Big Blue Bear and perfect for Colorado. Yet another opinion is he's not art and a waste of taxpayer money.
I can see that.
Other questions, is he cursed? Is he here to stay? Is he the work of an undercover Raiders fan? So how did this 9,000-pound electric blue Mustang with glowing red eyes end up on Pena Boulevard? Let's go on a 360 gallop to find some answers.
Not the 360
First, a little background. In 1993, sculptor Luis Jimenez was commissioned to create a public art project for DIA.
He's got work.
Too demonic, like there's a normal amount for a sculpture.
Work in the Met, in the Smithsonian. He's a one of the leaders in contemporary sculpture.
DIA spokesperson Emily Williams says Jimenez created the Mustang to capture Denver's pioneering Western spirit. But what's with those Damien eyes?
The artist fashioned those eyes as a tribute to his father, who owned a neon shop in New Mexico.
The eyes are actually LED, but any further insight is shrouded in mystery. Jimenez had a major problem with deadlines as his deed neared completion in 2006, 13 years late, and now at a cost of $650 grand.
That's insane.
Tragedy struck. A large chunk of the pony broke loose and crushed the artist to death.
Because of this tragic accident that some people believe that Mustang might be cursed, he has locally the nickname Blucifer.
Blucifer was finally installed 2 years later to almost universal scorn. A Facebook group formed calling for his removal.
But that's good art, right? The art is meant to spark a conversation.
Columbus visitor Kaylee Warwick
Extremely strange.
Still doesn't get it.
Every time we come here, its eyes glow red. It's really, really creepy.
Others, like Deb Blundberg,
an attention getter,
are more forgiving.
The red eyes are kind of a eye catcher, so.
It's also anatomically correct.
Yeah, it is. Which, I guess that's okay.
Remember, Denver is also home to these guys, and of course, the Big Blue Bear. We're used to interesting artwork, but But somehow, this horse looked like a bizarro world version of our beloved Broncos mascot.
It's just weird.
What do you think?
So yeah, womp womp, Blucifer. And Blucifer got vandalized. Someone assaulted Blucifer.
We have breaking news this morning. Blucifer, the iconic blue Mustang at Denver International Airport, has been vandalized.
Come on, guys,
DIA staff confirms orange paint was tagged on the side of the statue's legs. It is faint and hard to make out, and it was discovered last night around 8 o'clock. Crews are now trying to figure out how to remove the paint without damaging the statue. Denver police are investigating.
I tried to find a picture, but I couldn't find a picture. Also, can someone make the George Bush meme where the guy's whispering and put the Denver airport confirms Blucifer, large blue horse sculpture by the airport was vandalized? Thanks. Love you. All right, so why Denver International Airport does not call itself DIA? If you look at the logo for the airport, it's DEN, and you might have noticed a lot of the slides said DIA and a lot of the slides said DEN, which let's talk about it. Despite the acronym being DIA being the more popular term for locals to use, the use of DEN goes beyond the branding. Apparently, there is a different airport that uses DIA. I put this in here because one time on Reddit, I saw that they changed it to DEN because they were like, oh, DIA sounds like CIA. There's so many conspiracies. But I tried to find that Reddit post and I couldn't find it. What I did find is that because every airport has to have a different code, there's DEN for Denver, and then because another airport in Qatar has DIA, the Doha International Airport. So airports are usually, their acronym is either the city or the name of the airport. So like ATL for the Atlanta airport, BOS for Boston, but cities that have more than one, like New York, it's just the name of the airport. So just because every airport needs its own one, that's why it's DEN, but everyone calls it DIA because the name of it is Denver International Airport. So not that exciting, but I thought it was interesting. So this is the conspiracies theory passage from Wikipedia. The airport has strongly leaned into the conspiracies. They have inspired art, unusual architecture, and construction problems. With the expansion of internet and television shows such as Conspiracy Theory, the airport administration decided to embrace it instead of fighting it. In 2016, they had a Conspiracy Theories Uncovered exhibition in the terminal explaining some more of the popular theories, and then they added an animatronic gargoyle that talks to people and says, "Welcome to Illuminati headquarters." Some people said that it was satanic, so they replaced it with a more muted version that was a little more cartoon, I guess. And other gargoyles sit on open suitcases in the baggage claim area, like statues of the suitcases and the gargoyles on top of it. So I think it's just kind of like playful and cutesy. And in April 2019, Roswell International Air Center and Denver International Airport became supernatural sister airports. They were kind of like, oh, both of us have lots of conspiracy theories, let's be friends. And in the agreement, they said they would work together to enhance industry best practices that involve commerce, trade, and tourism, and they included a clause that they would share strategies for extraterrestrial combat. But the funny part about that is this was in 2019, but a year or so ago, the government was like, there might be aliens, we don't know. And I guess now we're going to have to rely on the Denver airport, but they were kind of joking about it. But now that's literally already in the agreement, so whatever. For the airport's 20th birthday, they were going to decorate the property with crop circles of like alien vibes, but it was going to be too expensive, so they couldn't do it. And in a marketing campaign, they put posters making jokes about conspiracies to cover the construction stuff. So like the posters had like lizard people and they're like, we're not hiding anything. And it was literally just like, you know, when there's like the little false wall for construction and they just put something over it that usually says like, sorry for our mess, we're under construction. They made it a joke about the conspiracy theories. And the gargoyles and stuff because of the Freemasons. And it says the campaign was successful, generating over $8 million in revenue. But I don't understand how it generated revenue. I don't understand how they got that number, personally. So this was their little conspiracy gallery. So the skull was made by employees as just like a little alien skull, and then they made like a little fake art gallery in the airport. I love the employees here. I'm going to say that again. I love how the employees are like leaning in and going so hard for this. And then here's the gargoyle that some people got mad at, but I like him.
They're doing out there at our weird airport.
Just like Kirk, a little older, a little wiser, a little weirder. Well, as you know, Denver International has some strong conspiracy theories. So to make the airport experience a little more fun and keep with the theme for those traveling through DIA, the airport embraced the weirdness. A talking gargoyle dropped by to give travelers his 2 cents and got plenty of laughs.
That's a little too close for comfort, lady.
Oh, damn.
What, you never seen a talking gargoyle before?
It's
Welcome
funny.
to Illuminati headquarters. I mean, Denver International Airport.
These are awesome.
Hello? Do I know you?
Are you hungry?
Oh, I'm starving. You got anything for me? Those flowers look delicious.
Oh, it's because of the conspiracy.
Oh, it's because of the conspiracy. Look at me. I'm a little know-it-all. Will you get back over here? I got a question about this conspiracy. You know, you can actually put the phone down and have a conversation with me. But no, I'm a millennial. I've got to post it. I've got to snap face it and Twitter book it.
You're such a sweet talker.
Will you take me back home with you?
Let's go. I have some space in my backpack.
Actually, I
She
think you have
matched
too much
his
baggage
freak.
for me.
There too, huh, guys? Now, DIA says the gargoyle is a frequent flyer, racking up those miles. What, you think Southwest, Frontier Card, one of the two? And the gargoyle will
Sassy
be at the
boomer
airport again
gargoyle.
soon, so they tell us to tell...
Imagine it's 5 a.m. and you're just trying to get to your flight. I'm so mad the fucking slideshows didn't work. So that was what I was telling you, is like their construction signs, they kind of like leaned into it. And let me see if I can find the other ones online. Also, my nails are too long and I can't type with them, and it's like very frustrating right now. So that's one I just showed you. Yes, DEN's got some secrets, what's happening behind this wall, and it's a gargoyle. Cool new areas to hang out, or Area 52. What are we doing? Like, they really just leaned in a way that I think is a really cool and funny. Apologies for the noise. It takes really big drills to get to the underworld, and I don't know. I just think like they're kind of goofy and funny, and I think it's nice, and I like when people are having a good time. So Denver Airport embraces conspiracy theories amid renovation.
It seems these days that almost anything can become the topic of conspiracy theories, and that includes one of America's major airports. Opened in 1995, Denver International has long been the subject of wild speculation. Well, when the airport began a major renovation project, they decided it was a chance to play along. Barry Peterson has that story.
Flying saucers have invaded our planet. Washington, London, Paris.
If the saucers ever do come, may we suggest another landing zone, Denver's airport, where some say the welcome signs are already up for gargoyles.
Streamlined security,
and
or
are
more
they really
secrets?
making a new
What
home
are
for
we
the
doing?
lizard people as workers remodel the main terminal? And why is this guy, well, this thing, shushing us? It's all out of focus.
This is hilarious. I was at the Denver airport and saw the lizard construction signs, and I'd never heard of the conspiracy, so I thought it was weird. I think this is our same girl. I think this is Stacy again.
It's and weird.
Well, one may say these are the type of visitors that we have underground in our facility.
Stacy Stegman
Yep,
is the airport
Stacy!
spokesperson. What's really going on?
What's really going on is we are revitalizing our terminal, improving security, creating additional capacity so that we can serve our passengers into the future.
Okay, that's boring. This is a lot more fun. Just for the record.
Exactly.
They even post on social media when aliens roam the airport.
I love the employees.
Since it opened in 1995, America's fifth busiest airport has swirled with conspiracy theories.
Okay, so then they just go through the conspiracies that we already talked about. Like I said, I am absolutely fucking obsessed with the Denver airport marketing team. Absolutely obsessed with them. Internet conspiracy theorist making up stories about Nazis and the New World Order versus the Denver airport marketing team. Because, like, it really just seems like nothing that real was going on. I thought I was going to find something legit or weird, and I really, really looked for it and just could not find it. So, if you have anything for real, let me know. I was going to watch this PBS learning video, but I'm just going to put it in the chat. It's about, like, being wise on media. I just don't really have the brain capacity for, like, a serious conversation. But I do love to support PBS, so I will put it in the chat. Feel free to check it out. Actually, fuck it. Let's watch it. I do want to support PBS. Fuck it. We ball. Fuck it. Fuck it. We can't seem to find the page that you're looking for. Awesome. Guess not. Guess not. And it was a good video, too. If any... I'll try and find it. Let me Google it. PBS Denver Airport. What's the title of it? Media-wise. Okay. Found it.
Since it was built in 1995, the Denver airport has become a hotbed for conspiracy theories. Scary stories about underground bunkers, murals that have coded messages about the apocalypse, runways shaped like swastikas. This TikToker has bought into all of these stories and shared them online. So, time to find out, is any of this legit? Hey everybody, I'm Bella, and welcome back to Is This Legit?
This is
series
cute.
brought to you by MediaWise and PBS.
I'm glad I'm watching this. I should, like, use this in my class.
And teach you ways that you can do it on your own. There are a lot of claims in this TikTok, but for this video, we're going to dive deeper into if there's a secret bunker underneath this airport. The TikToker says that this bunker is bigger than Manhattan and will be used as a safe haven for quote-unquote elites during a nuclear war or other crisis. The best way to verify something like this is to ask yourself these 3 questions. Question number 1, who is behind the information?
I love when kids do projects and they're good at it and they're passionate about it. This is so sweet. I'm glad we're watching it.
Number 2, what is the evidence? And finally, number 3, what do other sources say?
Yes!
Let's start with the first one.
Oh,
Looking
I
at
love
the caption
her.
of this TikTok, we can see that it's a repost of another creator. So I clicked onto the original post and found that the TikToker's handle is @auntie_Coolette. They have nearly 2 million followers and post videos about religious and political topics, as well as conspiracy theories. In their bio, @auntie_Coolette lists a Nevada address and has a link to a site that sells t-shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs. Here's a quick tip. If someone is trying to sell you something in their bio, you always want to take another look at the videos they share. Well, nothing in there about being an expert on the Denver airport, so let's move on. I went to the second question. What is the evidence?
I'm
obsessed. The TikTok is
obsessed.
filled with words like ominous and Illuminati and conspiracy.
I'm having
These things are
acid
no
reflux.
coincidence, @_Coolette says, with creepy music playing in the background. But here's the thing you quickly notice. In the whole 2-minute and 55-second video, there's no real evidence for the claim that there's a secret bunker underneath this airport. No links to sources, no citations, just opinion. And that's a red flag. The next step. Look at what other sources are saying. So I did some lateral reading. That's when you get off the platform where you found the post, in this case it's TikTok, to a keyword search and open up multiple tabs to find out what other credible sources are saying. After doing a search for Denver Airport and secret bunker, I came across this article from the Denver Post, which explained the theory, the history, and the facts behind all...
We read a lot of that article.
...the conspiracy theories surrounding this infamous airport. So I put on my detective hat and got to work. Let's
Unless it's coming from Stacey's mouth, I can't believe any of the claims.
After people got suspicious when the construction of the airport took longer and cost more money than originally estimated.
Okay, so I think she's just going to read some of the stuff we already read. I am glad we watched some of that, though. That was very, very cute, and I didn't know that PBS did that. This is, I think, one of the last things that we will do. Yes, and we're not going to watch the whole thing because it's really long, but they kind of explain why the airport is so big. It is 9 times the size of LAX, which is
Denver
crazy.
is known for its outdoor spaces, parks, sunny weather, and the Rocky Mountains. But Denver's airport, on the other hand, is known for something distinct. The airport is famous for its wild conspiracy theories, amazing terminal designs, 3-mile runway, and its humongous size. The airport is literally bigger than a few of the most populated cities in the country. It is nearly thrice the size of San Francisco, double the size of Manhattan, and about 9 times the size of LAX. The airport is not just big in size, but also is the world's 3rd busiest airport. And this position is unlikely for a city that is literally a mile high in altitude from sea level. So why is Denver Airport so massive in size as well as in passenger numbers? Well, the simple reason the airport is so huge is because it was built specifically due to land congestion around the airport it replaced. The previous Denver Stapleton Airport was in the middle of the suburbs. Its runways were too close together for proper separation, and it had little to no room to expand.
So everyone that when it was built was like, we don't need the airport. They literally, their runways were not far apart enough. They did.
The people living next to it had to deal with jet engine noises and airport traffic, So considering
LAX is small, but you also have to think about there's a ton of other airports in Southern California. So that's why it's smaller, because like there's multiple other international airports there.
all of these problems, city planners decided to build another airport far away from the city so it wouldn't disturb residents and would get the desired space. Stapleton was no doubt too busy for its size, so a new airport already needed to be significantly larger than Stapleton, even if Denver wasn't to grow at all. They planned the new airport to be the main airport for a metropolitan region of 8 million people, so it had to be like the biggest possible. As of 2023, the built-up land is particularly less, with most of the land left for future developments. But if you think the land for expansion is being wasted currently, it is not true. The airport has existing farmlands, which are rented out and used by farmers and ranchers.
So of those like thousands and thousands of acres, they own it, but they're renting it out to farmers because they're not using it right now, but they don't want to sell it because they might want to use it later, which makes
Building this airport was the smartest thing the city ever did. And it allowed for the land at the old airport to be developed as a vital new community with housing of all types, shops, offices, doctors, schools, parks, and more. The land left proves that the airport that you see now is a part of some future, even bigger airport. The full version of the airport has 12 runways and more terminal space, which would be built when the airport reaches capacity.
So that is that good plan that the architect was talking about, that they did have an expansion plan that I don't know if they're following.
Right now, the airport has 6 runways, with 7th one currently in talks. For the runways, the airport has to be huge. I say this because Denver is about a mile high in altitude, which means that the runway has to be longer than average. This is because higher elevation means thinner air, which results in a longer takeoff run. All the runways except one are 12,000 feet long, and that one is 16,000 feet, also the longest one in America. While Denver Airport has very much longer runways, it also has an incredible runway layout, which can handle both arrivals and departures in all 4 directions simultaneously from the terminal area. This layout almost eliminates the wait for runway clearance, as planes have 4 directions to take off. And in a city like Denver, where weather can be unpredictable, with frequent thunderstorms and winter snowstorms, multiple runways help to keep operations going. One of the reasons the airport was made so big is because the airport was planned to be a hub and major airport for the whole country.
This is
but
what
if
I
you think
wanted
the
you
airport
to
became a
see.
hub due to its size and facilities, then you might be wrong. Denver's location made it an important hub for connecting flights well before a larger airport had ever been considered. The airport has all the...
I feel so ill in Denver. I've never been to Denver, but I went to Ecuador, and I was in like high altitude in Ecuador, and I got really, really bad altitude sickness there.
Things needed to be a hub. A good location, which in this case is the center of America.
So look, it's literally the only major airport in that whole big-ass middle America.
Good infrastructure, which the airport is famous for, and a decent local market, which 2 million people in Metro Denver fulfill. Due to all these factors, the airport is now the 2nd largest hub for United and the biggest one for Southwest and Frontier. A hub means that a lot of passenger travel here would be layovers, and that's exactly the case with Denver. But even if you deduct that number, Denver Airport still would be pretty busy. This is because of other factors that affect the passenger number. Like, if you've noticed, Denver only has 1 commercial airport. Generally, big cities have at least 2 airports to divert passenger volume. Chicago has O'Hare and Midway, but Denver only has 1. This diverts all the traffic to this 1 airport. But that's not it. Denver's passenger traffic is very diverse, and the next contributor is the skiing season. As you might know, Colorado is home to America's biggest skiing industry.
So yeah, and people are there because of skiing. So there were our sources tonight. This was like a very lighthearted topic for us to kind of chit and chat and squawk about. Another lighthearted topic next week, Buddy Valastro, the Cake Boss. We are talking about Mr. Cake Boss. The slides are already done. I do want to be transparent. I am working on hiring a virtual assistant to help me make the slides. So the slides for next week are not made by one of the people I'm going to hire in a reoccurring capacity. They're made by someone that does freelance work that I tried that was good but not great, so I just had him do this one project, and I'm going to move on from him. I did not find him as a follower. I just found him on Fiverr. But he did a good job, and he made the slides. They're very good, and we made them together, really. So we're going to talk about Mr. Cake Boss, and it'll be, again, very lighthearted. We'll watch cakes falling down, some funny clips. The Cake Boss did get arrested for a DWI, and when they were trying to arrest him, he said, "You can't arrest me, I'm the Cake Boss." And to say that like you're the president. I'm the Cake Boss. Like, it's obvious. Go ahead and join the game. I will go ahead and put the link in the chat, and there are the directions, but I wanted to, again, call out that I am partnered with KC Did It Again, who is selling bags, and the proceeds from the bags will be going to Dr. Sofian's evacuation efforts. He is not doing well. His health is not in a good place right now. 3 of his colleagues actually suffered bombings recently. Some are injured. Another one lost their home. It's a really, really bad situation. So I did want to call out again that if you would like to support and you would like a bag, go ahead and Venmo KC at least $50. If you want to give more, you totally can. And then shoot her an email and she will ship you your bag that she made by hand. So please reach out to her for that. There's her social media, all of that fun stuff. To get in contact with her, and she also does braids, so if you're interested in that, she's a great hair provider. And again, if you cannot donate, I do encourage you, there's a QR code at the bottom of my screen. Please just share the GoFundMe, because this is one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is like when I know I have like followers, but when I post the GoFundMe every day, it's the same people seeing it every day. So I still post it because people donate, but most people aren't gonna, here, I'll put the game code back up, but it's also at the top of the screen in blue where it says code. People usually are not gonna donate again and again and again. So that's why it's so helpful if you guys post it. And I know you might be thinking, oh, I only have 30 followers. Your 30 followers probably don't follow me. So they've never seen it before. So in a way, you have a higher chance because you're getting new eyes on it. So if you can't donate, please just share it. Tag me, I'll share your stories, give you some love, all the things. But yeah, so even if you can't donate, because I have noticed that we've gotten kind of stagnant with the donations, which I do really understand because a lot of you all have already donated, which I'm very, very grateful for. And Dr. Sofian asked me to pass along his gratitude as well. But if you could also share it, that's what can really like push it forward and kind of get us over the finish line, in my opinion. Pyramid scheme, but mitigating the effects of genocide. Literally how I feel right now, that you summed it up quite well. So we are going to do our usual trivia at the end of our stream. So I already put the link and the code in the chat, but I will put it back up there. Which one do we want to do? I guess Himalaya because it's mountains. Actually, we'll do space because it's aliens. So it is literally just going to be 10 questions about what we learned tonight. Those of you on TikTok, I'm going to go ahead and say night to you. Love you so much. And we will play this frickin' game. So when you go to the link, it is going to ask you to enter our code. You just go to join.nearpod.com. You don't need an account. You don't need to put your email in. I don't need your name. I don't need your phone number. I don't need your money. It's just free and for fun. So join.nearpod.com. You can do it on your phone. You can do it in a new tab. I don't know what device you're watching this on. You enter our little code, put something fun as your nickname, or put something fun as your name. The nickname only shows up to me. I don't know why that feature's even there, but if you want to put your name, that's fine. But if you don't want to put your legal name, put something funsies. And all you get for winning is street cred. I don't have any money to offer you. In fact, I have the opposite. I'm asking for donations. Alrighty, I'll give you a few more seconds. Oh, this is what my students figured out. You don't have to make an account, but if you make an account, you get better characters. You get more characters to choose from. So I'll give people a couple more seconds. Let me put that link in the chat again. I am excited for Cake Boss next week. Alrighty. I haven't seen anyone join in a second. Someone joined as I said that. I love my brain. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start. If you have not joined, it will let you join late, but you probably won't win because it calculates your points based on how fast you answer. And if you're right, oh, now I might need to make an account after 2.5 years. Yeah, that's sidebar as more people are joining. That's what I fucking love about Nearpod as a teacher. I fucking love that you don't have to have an account and you can still fully engage. But if you want to make an account, there's cool features. Like, I love that as a teacher, it doesn't make a difference to me if you have the account. You still have access to everything because it's my account. But my students, some of them make accounts, and when you make an account, you can take notes on the slide, and it saves the notes in your account. So then they would go back and look at my slides and their notes. And then some kids wanted the cool characters, but I love that you don't have to do it, because that is the worst fucking thing in the world when you're trying to do something with your class and then it's like, make an account, you need your email address. I don't know my email address. I got locked out of my email. It's just so terrible. But anyway, that's why I stand Nearpod, even though they don't stand me. They did give me this free account. That was pretty cool of them. But I'm going to go ahead and hit start and stop yapping. Pay Miss Redacted for this testimony. What did we learn about this week? Oh, my phone just told me I'm about to get my period. Awesome. That explains why I was crying. Perfect. Y'all are crushing it. Wow. We learned about the Denver airport. What caused issues before they even opened the airport? Oh, remember to tell YouTube the description that you started around 20 minutes. Thank you. I appreciate you, Lemur Banana. You've been here for a long time, and I see you, and I'm hearing you, and I appreciate you. 16 months behind schedule and a cost of... I love the recognition. It was $4.8 billion. Sentient gargoyle, stop. What weather event trapped people in the airport? Justice for Lucifer is crazy. Stacy's tip jar. What has caused lots of controversies at the airport? I did not do fun things in Greenville. I just went to the scary place and then I was hanging out with my family, who lives like 30 minutes from Greenville. The art has caused controversy. Why were the AU and AG symbols on the ground? So excited I caught this stream live. I spent a year watching every YouTube video until I finally watched all of them a couple days ago. Oh my god! Thank you! First time chat, I love. Who did Lucifer kill that we know of? There's a lot of people in the game, wow. Oh, I've been on your For You page for years. Thank you, Frog Mob TV. I think this might be the last question. Oh no, it's not. There's a couple more. The New World Order theories have a clear leader and goal lined out. And the people that are going faster than you, it might be because maybe their internet is faster, possibly. That's one thing I would always feel bad for my students with like kind of janky computers, that theirs would like take longer and they would always lose. I felt so bad for them. Who did the alien graffiti? I don't know why I didn't make aliens a choice. What did the marketing team put up? Me, you. Clearly I was tired. It It was A and C. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Alrighty, nice job, Sentient Gargoyle, Stacy's Tip Jar, Singing Writing, Stacy in a Lizard Mask, a Blucifer Parking Lot, Gabby, Justice for Blucifer, a Dutch Bros Parking Lot, Lizard Mason, a Lucifer Parking Lot, Blucifer Eyes, Lizard Person, a DIA Parking Lot, a Blucifer Parking Lot, another Blucifer, Justice for Blucifer, Amber, E732, Asparagus Dino Nugget, Blucifer, and Blucifer, aka Bluey. I will scroll through the rest. Denver Airport Parking Lot, Global Elite Parking Lot, Madam Blucifer. Nice job, nice job. So, memes, questions, anything I missed? What are we thinking? Oh, a Quick Trippy Parking Lot. You won. Yay. This is my first time being able to do the quiz and I got second. It's not a quiz. It is a fun trivia game. If anyone wants to make the George Bush meme, I would appreciate that. It's fine. I can do it later. This is my assistant for my application, my graphic for my assistant application. Oh, I did see this. It's like, it's funny to connect like you guys' internet names to your email. It's just like, took me a minute. Can you find the global, a totally normal airport. I did really like this graphic. The veins on the horse is a little bit jarring to me. The Denver airport's automated luggage system in the 90s. Oh my god, y'all are really crushing it with the memes tonight. These are good. I'll wait. I'm waiting. Let me close some of my other tabs. There we go. All right, team. Thank you so much for being here. This was the highlight of my week, as always. Thank you for putting up with my 20 minutes of squawking at the beginning. Thank you. I spent half an hour on it. Thank you for putting up with my 20 minutes of squawking at the beginning. I really needed to just get that out of my system. Thank you all for being here. And I really hope that it's cool with you guys that I am hiring help to make the slides, because I love making the slides and I love doing the research, but it does take a lot of time. So I'm looking forward to being able to pick cooler topics because I have some help now. So I hope that you all are into that. I have not picked someone yet. I told everyone that was applying what the application process was going to look like for them. Well, not everyone, because so many people applied. I could not get back to everyone. I felt so bad I didn't reply to everyone. But anyway, so if you applied and I didn't reply to you, I'm really, really sorry. So I'm not taking any more applications, but if I don't find somebody, then I'll open it up again. But I just got so many, and I did read every single one. I did not reply to everyone, but I read every single one that I got. So I narrowed it down to like 20 people, and then I had those 20 people make a graphic, like Justice for Blucifer sent. They were one of them that made a graphic, and then tell me which stream was their favorite and why. Based on that, I narrowed it down to a smaller group. That smaller group of, I think, 8 people, they're all making a stream deck, and I'm paying them to make it. I don't like making people do work for free. I think that's gross. They're all making like a stream deck, and I gave them a topic so that I can see like who I jive with best and who does the best job. So I am going through a big process so that I can get some good help that will do an awesome job of making these. And like I said, I will still go through the entire thing and add in stuff on my own. I am not going to have them make every single one. I was thinking I would make like 1 or 2 a month, and then they would make like 1 or 2 a month is my plan. So again, thank you so much for being here. I love this community. I am so, so grateful that they're like, when I think about that there's 131 viewers right now, I'm imagining if like a room of 131 people that chose to spend their Tuesday evening with me, and I am just very grateful for that. So have a good night, and I will see you here next week to talk about